You know, we all think our dogs are pretty special, but what if I told you they have a hidden ability that sounds like it's straight out of a superhero movie? We're talking about a genuine sixth sense, one that connects them to the planet in a way we can't even begin to imagine.
Seriously, have you ever caught your dog doing something and just thought, there's more going on here than I realize? Beyond that incredible nose or those supersonic ears, have you ever felt like they're tuned into something else? Some invisible force? Well, you might be onto something.
And here's the funny part. The very first clue to this incredible superpower isn't some heroic rescue. Nope, it's found in one of their most, private and, let's be honest, slightly bizarre little rituals. Yeah? We're talking about that little dance they do right before they go potty.
So that brings us to the great secret of the potty dance. You know what I'm talking about, right? The circling? Well, back in 2013, a team of scientists got really curious about this. They watched 70 dogs for 2 full years, documenting thousands of, well, bathroom breaks. And what they found was just extraordinary.
It turns out there's a method to the madness. The study showed that dogs overwhelmingly prefer to align their bodies along the Earth's north-south axis when they do their business. But, and this is a big but, look at that last part, under calm MF conditions. MF stands for magnetic field, and that little detail is the key to everything.
And that detail is so important because, as it turns out, the Earth's magnetic field is only calm and stable about 20% of the time during daylight hours. The rest of the time, it's fluctuating all over the place. And during those times, the dog's alignment was totally random. That's probably why you've never noticed a pattern. It only happens some of the time.
The fact that their behavior changed so predictably with the magnetic field, well, that was the smoking gun. This wasn't just some weird little habit or a funny dance. This was the first real, measurable evidence that our dogs can actually sense this invisible force field that surrounds our entire planet. But the story gets even better. Okay, so if they can sense it, what can they do with it? This is where we go from a funny potty trick to something truly incredible. It seems this sense is part of a full-fledged, built-in GPS. So a different group of researchers decided to put this to the test in the real world. They took hunting dogs, who are already famous for their amazing sense of direction, and they kitted them out with high-tech GPS collars and little cameras. Then they let them run free in totally unfamiliar forests to see how on earth they'd find their way back. Now, the dogs used a couple of different ways to get home. Sometimes they just backtrack, following their own scent trail. But the really fascinating stuff happened when they decided to take a totally new route, a shortcut. The scientists called this scouting, and it all started with a very specific, very cool little trick. Before a dog would start its shortcut home, its journey would begin with this little ritual. Right at the moment it seemed to decide, okay, time to go back, it would perform what the scientists named a compass run, and it is a perfect demonstration of this magnetic sense in action. And this just shows it perfectly. A compass run is a quick 20-meter dash, almost perfectly along the north-south magnetic axis. I mean, look at the data from the study. The little red arrows show the direction of the run. It doesn't matter which way home is, north, south, east, or west, the run is almost always north-south. And that's what's so wild. The run isn't to start heading towards home. It's to get their bearings first. It's like the dog has to stop and go, okay, hold on. Which way is north? Before it can figure out the path back. They are literally calibrating an internal compass. I mean, how cool is that? But it does lead us to the really big question. How? How in the world is an animal able to perceive an invisible magnetic field? Well, let's peek behind the curtain at the science of these super senses. The official scientific name for this ability is magnetoreception, and it's actually a pretty common sixth sense in the animal kingdom. We see it in migrating birds, sea turtles, even lobsters. For decades, scientists have been scratching their heads trying to figure out exactly how it works. Right now, there are 2 main ideas. The first one is kind of like a tiny physical compass needle. It suggests that some cells have these little magnetic particles that physically twist and align with the Earth's field, sending a signal to the brain. But the second theory, the quantum compass, well, that one is even crazier. It suggests an animal might be able to literally see the magnetic field. We're going to focus on that second one, the quantum compass, because this is where the research into our dogs has gotten really exciting. And it all boils down to one very special light-sensitive molecule. So for years, scientists have known that in birds, this molecule called cryptochrome is the key. It's found right in the retina, in the cells they use to see.
The idea is that when light hits this molecule, it kicks off a quantum reaction that's influenced by the Earth's magnetic field. This could create a kind of visual pattern overlaid on their normal sight, basically showing them which way is north.
And here it is, the big moment. Researchers recently discovered that exact same molecule, cryptochrome 1, in the retinas of dogs, specifically in the cone cells, the very cells responsible for color vision. This is a massive, massive clue. It strongly suggests that, just like birds, our dogs might not just feel the magnetic field, they might actually be able to see it. Just take a second to think about that. It completely changes how we imagine our dog's view of the world. For them, the world might be painted with these invisible lines of magnetic force that we are completely blind to. What a different reality that must be. Okay, so what's the takeaway here for us, for the people who live with and love these amazing animals? This is so much more than just a cool piece of science trivia.
So let's wrap it all up. We've learned that your dog almost certainly has a kind of sixth sense. That weird circling they do before they go to the bathroom, it's not weird at all. It's them literally aligning with the planet. It means they experience the world in a way that is totally alien to us. And maybe most importantly, this sense is a powerful, real navigation tool. It helps explain those incredible stories of lost dogs finding their way home across unbelievable distances.
It really makes you look at that furry friend of yours a little differently, doesn't it? It just fills you with this sense of wonder and makes you ask, what other incredible secrets are our best friends hiding from us, right there in plain sight? Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey into your dog's secret world. Hopefully, it gives you a whole new level of appreciation for the amazing, mysterious, and wonderful animal you get to share your life with. Now go give him a pat from me.